Welcome to the Monster Energy TRP National Motocross Championships. I'm Larry van der Westhuizen and we are in Port Elizabeth for continued action of the first round of the National Motocross Championships right here on two wheels. This time round we are going to kick off with the 65cc class, and it's going to be a real challenge for the little guys. In fact, they are the smallest wheels that will be facing the senior motocross track, and the deep sand and the deep ruts are going to catch out some of the new riders to the 65cc class. In fact, the 65cc machines make the same power to weight ratio as a 252 stroke, so quite a handful for these little guys. Time to go racing with the 65s. Hayden Tully with a great start, leaning back, keeping that front wheel nice and light. Great start on the inside from a couple of riders, but there we go. You just tap off once and down you go. That's Dylan Kirk, one of the favorites on the number 55 that takes a tumble, the man from Swaziland. But up in the front, Hayden Tully's second place. On the 199 is Dion Manuel from Zimbabwe. Vion Deploy, all the way from the Free State. He's had a good start up towards the front end of the field. Hayden Tully will be the favorite for the championship this year as Dion Manuel takes a tumble. He would have been looking for the win here, so he's going to have to pick up, back up and get going quickly. White McGregor takes a tumble in the deep sand. That shows you just how deep it is. Tyler Tarantino having a really good ride. Just ahead of James Thompson on the 57. Two youngsters in the 65 class. Oh, there's Vion Deploy having a good ride, but has gone and taken a tumble there as we see Dylan Kirk back and running on the 55 after that start crash. Back with our front runners, and Dion Manuel has taken the lead, but only just ahead of Hayden Tully as we're bringing this one right towards the checkered flag. Blake Young at the moment sitting in third place. Here is the chase for the finish, and Dion Manuel just hangs onto it ahead of Hayden Tully. A welcome return to motocross for multiple South African champion Richard van der Westhuizen.
I'm here because I'm having fun on my dirt bike. I missed the motocross and been given this awesome opportunity by AB Midas Husqvarna, and I tell you what, it's so awesome to be at the track again and just have fun. You know, I've missed this quite a bit, and it's just, I'm having so much fun. I raced National Enduro last weekend, National MX this weekend. I'm having the time of my life. So it's good to be back and see all the familiar faces.
We had a chance to catch up with the reigning MX1 champion, Kieran Fitzgerald.
Team's looking good, as you can see. There's a few more guys that are in the team this year. So far so good. It's first round, still early, so PE is always a tough one. Track's already starting to break up a little bit, but it's not too bad. I think it'll be, by the time the first motor rolls around, it's going to be pretty rough, and it's going to separate the men from the boys, that's for sure.
That is for sure. Time now for the MX1, the premier class of motocross in South Africa, and Kieran Fitzgerald with that big number one on his bike. He'll be the target man, Sasha Nordia. Such a great season last year, and will be hoping to get up there and race near the front. 15-second board turns to 5. The riders will focus on the gate, and away they go. So he's going to get that good start. It looks like a great start from Sasha Nordia. A little early off the gas, so he's back in about third place now. But the whole shot goes to the brother leader tread KTM of Ross Branch. What a great start. But even for these 450s, they're battling in the deep sand. Ross Branch did spend a couple of seasons living in Port Elizabeth, knows the sand very, very well, but been concentrating on off-road over the last couple of seasons. So motocross not really his thing. We'll see how long he can hold it. He's under big pressure from David Goosen, and the comeback man, Richard van der Westhuizen, right in the mix. You see how deep the bumps are getting. There's Roger Bergstrom, usually competes in the veterans class out there in the MX1s. The riders complete their first lap over the big finish tabletop. The crowd gets to watch that spectacularly. Ross Branch on the 24, a new number for him ahead of the 21 of David Goosen. And great slow-mo pics of a very talented rider. David Goosen made the change to Yamaha and come out swinging in 2016. Ross Branch just showing you that he has loads of talent when it comes to riding in the sand. In fact, riding any motocross track. And this will give him some encouragement to go and work hard and see if he can hold it up in the front. Neville Bradshaw is on his way though in the 272, really riding well at the moment and trying to make up for a semi-decent start. He wants to get up and race in the front with Ross Branch. You can see Ross Branch now starting to feel the heat from David Goosen. It's tightening up in the front. Neville Bradshaw in that third place. Richard van der Westhuizen also not losing too much ground. He's right there behind Neville Bradshaw. But David Goosen has closed the gap up on Ross Branch up in the front. So this is going to be a real battle. KTM versus Yamaha. As they go up and over that big Thor finish tabletop, the rest of the riders streaming through. We're having a look back at Sasha Nordia and Anthony Reynard trying to make their way up to the front. As Ross Branch just starting to fade a little bit now. David Goosen been working hard in the off-season. His fitness is right up there at top level. side by side as they go over the jump. They can't quite clear that tabletop. It's getting so rough. And we've got a new race leader, David Goosen, through to the front. Ross Branch back in second place now. Can he hold on to a podium position? That'll be the question. Here comes Neville Bradshaw. It'll be difficult to keep him behind. Yamaha want their riders first and second. Richard van der Westhuizen on that Husqvarna, the ABE Midas Husqvarna, and then it's Anthony Reynard on another Husqvarna right behind them. So all the manufacturers up towards the front end of the field, and Richard van der Westhuizen doing a great job in his comeback to run up there in a podium position, but he's got his hands full with Anthony Reynard. Wyatt Avis back there on the number 50. He's been doing some road racing and making a return to motocross, and will work through this season to get up towards the front. David Goosen made the change to Yamaha for 2016 and enjoying a great race up in the front. So the 21 holds on to the lead for now. He knows he's got his main contender, Neville Bradshaw, right behind him. There's the 37 of Justin Boost out there. Greatly improved ride from the young man from KZN. There's Neville Bradshaw, but where is David Goosen? He has gone missing. So that puts the 272 in the front. Neville Bradshaw is going to take the win in the first race. Well, we had a chance to catch up with the international star and the winner of race 1, Neville Bradshaw.
I think I've blown the one of the ligaments out, so yeah, just in a lot of pain and just trying to finish the day really. Came from the back and got into second, and kind of just going to settle for that, just going through a lot of pain. And David had a problem in the last lap and managed to win it. So yeah, this next race is again just a bit of survival and try to get some points to come out of the first round with, and hopefully I can race for the rest of the year. But we've got to see what the deal is with the knee.
Well, Kieran Fitzgerald holds the number 1 plate, but didn't have the best of first heats. Let's hear what he has to say.
Tried to work my way up. I got up to 6th or 7th at the time, and by the time I got there, the guys in front were gone, so a little bit difficult. I didn't want to, but I had to try to settle down and save a bit of energy where I was. And unfortunately for David, I think he was leading and we had a bit of a bike problem at the end, and I managed to get to 6th, which is a point, but so unfortunate for David.
And we had a chance to catch up with the 23 Anthony Reynard, known as the Sandman of the 450cc class.
We lead off the gate, and then there was like a funnel into the first corner. But after all, managed to work my way through slowly but surely, passed through the guys, and yeah, managed to grab the second. I really wouldn't be out here if it wasn't for my awesome team, the Carbon Tech ETR A Sports team. Thank you so much for getting my MX1 and MX2 bikes in top form.
We're moving now on to the ladies and senior support class. A big turnout of very talented ladies on the line, and the 71 Brittany Cuthbert would be the lady to chase. She's had some international experience and rode motocross Grand Prix over the last season or so. And here we go in Port Elizabeth. All riders go down in the first turn. That looked like it could have been Andre Potgieter that dropped it there. One of the ABE Midas Husqvarna team, so hopefully he's okay and can get up and running. Well, taking a look, there is the second of our ladies, Leah Haygate from Zambia. This will be her first season of racing national motocross in South Africa. So a good job to be right up there. She would have never faced conditions like this. She's going to have to learn the hard way, try and keep it on 2 wheels. You can see riders going down all over the place, the conditions catching them out. No problems though for our front runner, Brittany Cuthbert, and looking so in control in the demanding sandy conditions. We've got a new second place rider at this stage. Looks like the big number 1 of Tony Jardine. So our reigning ladies champion has got herself into second place. Would have had to ride hard to go past Leah Haygate. Riders are going down. That's Mark Carr Hartley that has dropped it, and problems for the 99 of Kobus Huersen. He would like to have been up towards the front. But look at the riding style of our lady up in the front. Little squirrely coming to the line through that Bridgestone turn, but up and over the tabletop, she will take the win ahead of the reigning champion, Tony Jardine.
Got a bad start, and then I managed to catch the girls. And I was in second, and I was closing on the first, and then, I don't know, I just got tired and I fell back a bit. But it was a really good heat.
Moving on to the 1-5 high school class, and some new contenders towards the frontier. Seth van der Nabila made the move to Cape Town and also made the move to Husqvarna, looking very, very good on his former home track as he gets the whole shot just ahead of arch rival Keegan Hickson Mahoney. So the 2 sand riders in this class have gone to the front, and they will be hard to beat. And see, even though they know the sand, its conditions are tough for them. Some of the riders at the back of the pack really even just battling to make 1 lap around the track. Starting to open up a little bit of a cushion over Keegan Hickson Mahoney is Seth van der Nabila, back in 3rd place at the moment on the 42. Marco de Frey, he's having a cracker start to the 2016 season. A few of the regional races have gone his way. There is Slade Smith on the 737. He'll be doing some races in the United States this season. There's our race leader. Oh, and a back marker there. Just tries to move out of the way, but ends up moving into the way of our race leader. So Seth Van den Abela has gone down, putting Keegan Hicks and Mahoney up in the front. Market Frey into second place. Slade Smith then handed a podium position. You see more riders on the deck. That's Brandon Werther on the number 40 and the 25 of Joshua Johnston there also on the deck. But here we go. Keegan Hicks and Mahoney in his hometown through the Bridgestone corner. Takes the checkered flag and a win in Heat 1. We had a chance to catch up with the hometown favourite.
I was fourth in the start and I passed two guys in the first corner and then I was stuck behind Seth for a little while. Then he jumped into a back marker and then I got past him and then that was basically the whole race.
The MX1s made their way back to the start line for what would be a very entertaining second race. David Goosen unfortunately had some problems in race 1. He'll be looking to redeem himself and get up there and take a win. Under starters orders, the board turns to 5 as we take a look at the gate. On board with David Goosen and a race down to turn 1. He knows he's got the pace. Wow, on the inside of him there was Neville Bradshaw, but a whole shot once again to Ross Branch. Really knows how to get off the line here in a big hurry. And let's see how long he can hold it up in the front as they go through a very familiar part of this Rover Raceway. Rover, one of the oldest motocross clubs in Africa. In fact, definitely the oldest in South Africa. So back at the front, look how deep the track is getting. Great lines there from Ross Branch, just showing you that he understands how to ride this very deep sand track in Port Elizabeth. Some of the other riders, though, being a little more cautious on the first lap. They just want to make it through to the other side in one piece. So good start there. We've got Anthony Reynard in second place on the 23. So a much better start this time around for Anthony Reynard. And there he goes, very quick through that section, up and over the tabletop. There's quite a kicker there, so only a few of the riders attempting that tabletop. Some very deep ruts formed. So Ross Branch back into second place and now starting to feel the heat from the 21 of David Goosen. A real race of David Goosen if he can get past Ross Branch and catch Anthony Reynard. We go back on board as he tries to make that pass. He's alongside him now. He goes for that big tabletop and makes it. Ross Branch for the second time can't quite clear it. There we see Neville Bradshaw with that very anal knee, just trying to get some points out there. He knows that he can go back home and get it sorted out. There we go. This looks like an attempt to pass for the lead. David Goosen has got some incredible pace at the moment. Up the hill he goes, closes the door on Anthony Reynard, and we got a new race leader. Great move there and came out of nowhere for David Goosen. Anthony Reynard, one of the fittest riders in the sport, and was expected to hold on to that sort of pace. But David Goosen just riding that little bit quicker, and after not finishing race 1, needs to score some points here. You can see how big the brake bumps are getting, but holding on for dear life as he holds onto the front of this race. Anthony Reynard will not give up at all. Neville Bradshaw, there you can see sitting. He can't even stand on that bike now, so he is going to be very anal at the end of this race. Richard van der Westhuizen back in 4th place. He will see that. Sasha Nordia on the 54, newcomer to the Husqvarna team, and trying to get up there and race for a podium. Neville Bradshaw there you can see favouring that left side as we see a very lonely ride from Karen Fitzgerald way down the field, so things not going as well for him in the MX1 as they did in the MX2 class. Back on board with our race leader David Goosen through the final stages of this rough track, just showing you even on some of the more harder parts of the track it's starting to get rough as well. Taking it easy, some deep ruts in the takeoffs, but you can't afford to relax too much. There's Anthony Reynard right there with him, but one more corner to go and the checkered flag awaits for David Goosen, and he redeems himself with a great win ahead of Anthony Reynard. But David Goosen with a DNF in the first race comes back with a strong win in race 2. We had a chance to catch up with him and see how it went.
Still catching my breath. This track is so rough and technical. It's really hard. So all the guys out here have done a good job to get around today, and I'm just so pleased. I'm so happy on my bike, and everyone around me is really being supportive. And you know, it doesn't come easy. We've obviously been trying really hard, and it's been a long time since I've been riding like this. And I mean, a lot of people that know me around here know the struggles, and I mean, we all go through it. But to finally do well and do what you set out to do is such a cool feeling.
Well, a great day of racing. In the Thor results roundup, we take a look at the official overall results from the racing in Port Elizabeth at round 1 of the Monster Energy TRP Nationals. In the 65cc class, Hayden Tully and Dyer Manuel equal on points on 47. Tyler Tarantino in 3rd place, Blake Young, Luca Maynard and Chase Honeycomb. In the 125cc high school class, local man Keegan Hicks and Mahoney, top of the pack, Seth Van den Abela in 2nd, Slade Smith, Matthew Kruger, Cale DeMail and Ricky Roth. In the senior support class, Mason Boost with the overall with 50 points ahead of local man Theo Helgreen on 44. Brandon Howden rounded out the top 3 on 40 points. In the ladies class, Brittany Cuthbert dominated, winning 2 heats ahead of Leah Haygate from Zambia, Tony Jardine in 3rd place on her Yamaha. In the MX1 class, Neville Bradshaw with the win, despite an injured knee ahead of Anthony Reynard, Richard van der Westhuizen, Sasha Nordia, David Goosen and Ross Branch.